Brittany, we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to your heart as it is to many of our listeners' hearts, and that is adoption. In Romans 8:15, it is at the heart of God as well. It says, "You have not received a spirit that makes you fearful slaves. Instead, you received God's Spirit when He adopted you as His own children."
Now that adoption is part of just our life, you hear more and more about adoption, but when you really actually break it down, Jesus was adopted. And so that's crazy to think about. Well, Jesus was adopted by Joseph.
As a freshman in college, just really starting out your adult life, you've already got this passion. Talk to us a little bit more about that. What were you thinking it would be like at that time?
Once I went to college, we worked for a summer camp that had orphans at the summer camp. And I just fell in love. Like, how can you not? I mean, and they were just so happy and so joyful. And my brain just couldn't compute the fact that they're this happy, yet they don't have parents. Like, I knew that day that was something that I was called to do.
So now you're out of college, you're starting a family and so forth.
Yep.
And where does this passion for adoption go at that time?
So we moved to Houston for work. We joined a church that was very big in adoption, which I thought was really cool. This church had a grant that helped fund families of adoption, and they would do education classes there as well. At the time, we already had our oldest biological daughter, and so we were just really wanting to research what's best for everyone in our family. What does this look like? And so really, it was the education phase, I think, was phase one.
When did it go from let's explore all the opportunities to now's the right time?
It probably took us about a year of really going, of education. Once we moved back to Jacksonville, it was probably a year into that of just learning all about the different kinds. And once we found the organization, we were like, okay, here we go. Our story is not like most. It was very, very fast. Once we found our organization and we did our home study and we completed our lookbook, which is the book that we give to the organization for different mothers to look through to see who she would like to place her child with. Once I turned in the book, it took 1 week. What in the world? It was really, really fast. 1 week to be matched. It was insane because I remember feeling that same excitement when I found out I was pregnant with Aubri, our oldest. And I just was like, wow, God, that's really cool that you allow adoption to have those same emotions, the same feelings that you do when you get pregnant. After we got the call, we got to go and meet her. Here this woman is carrying our future child, and she's a baby and two, and I'm just like, it was extremely overwhelming. But this woman that was carrying our child was, incredible, and we just had the most ideal situation.
How long from the time you got the call to the time you're holding the child?
Okay, so we not only found out in that same time frame that we were expecting, but we also found out it was a girl, and we had 2 to 3 months to prepare. And when I say prepare, I'm talking, just raise all the funds you'd need. Not just clothes and diapers, but the funding part of adoption that not a lot of people like to talk about. And so we got to fundraising. We did a t-shirt fundraiser, designed this t-shirt and was like, we're gonna sell these t-shirts to raise money for Liv's adoption. So we set our goal at $5,000, and within 1 day we met $5,000. And I was like, okay, well, that actually doesn't cover the adoption, so should we keep going? And so we did, and we ended up raising like $15,000. Adoption is such a faith walk. Like every step of the way is, all right, God, whatever direction you're taking this, here we go. You're just along for the ride.
What was Aubri thinking during all this?
So she was 3 at the time, and in her little sweet 3-year-old brain, all she cared about is she wanted a sissa, as what she said. I just want a sissa. She didn't care, anything else. I asked Liv's birth mother, why did you pick our family? Like, what was it that made you pick our family? So she has this book, and she's reading about us and everything, and she said, the reason why I chose your family is because of your daughter, Aubri. And she said, I wanted her to have a sister. I wanted her to be a big sister. She claims that to this day, like, you're here because of me, essentially, And I'm like, well, it's kind of true.
I imagine that some of that fear, it just kind of melts away the first moment that you lay eyes on your adoptive child. So just describe that moment.
They wheeled Liv out literally seconds after she was born, right into our room. Probably, if I'm honest, there was a little bit of like, what if this doesn't happen? What if she changes her mind? I think everyone kind of like deep down thinks that. I just felt very at peace because this whole time that I had gotten to know her, she just felt very, to me, like perceiving her, she just felt very burdened. And I think when she signed the papers and she said bye to us, there was this sense of relief, and not have to worry about what's going to happen with this child that I couldn't raise,
Tell us a little bit about the relationship between Aubri and Liv. I see this picture here.
Oh, yeah.
This is obviously when things were pretty new, and they're cuddling and
oh, yeah.
smiling.
Aubri is a great big sister, and Liv just fits in our family. Like, there's never been a time where you were like, oh, well, they're so different, or anything. They've always connected from the beginning. Been sisters. There's never anything outside of the norm of what I've seen in other families with 2 even biological children. I've noticed, I'm like, whoa, you guys are so different, but yet Aubrey's proud of the fact that she's got a sister that's adopted. Very proud of it.
We're going to get to meet
Yes.
Aubri and Liv in just a minute. They'll be in here from school.
Yep.
And jumping up on that couch with you. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Hi! How's it going? Can you come sit by me? Hey, babe! Is that your hat from Easter? Hi, come on, Obs. Come sit with us. Come here. Hi, how was school? Good. Good? Yeah. Come here. Hi, how was school? Good? Yeah. That's Daddy. And who else? Yep. And you're bow hunting.
What has this been like from a faith perspective for you?
It has been the biggest faith journey I've ever walked. I'm just thankful that God told me real quick like, I got this. And I remember hearing his voice, you don't need to worry where she's going. Like, I got her. It was so comforting and so freeing to think I could stress out about every step of this process, but God proved himself over and over and over again. It's something that he continues to use in our lives to be able to share his love with others. We just wanted it to be very open and people to invite them in on this journey because we felt so called to it to hopefully raise awareness about adoption. And then if anyone is on the verge of, is this for me or not, to have the freedom to ask us or talk to us about it. And I cannot tell you how many people have reached out to us, whether that's seeing one of those shirts or just through us being open about our adoption, that I get messages pretty regularly about, can you share more about this, or what did you guys do with this? And so we just really, I feel like that's part of now my ministry. This has been the most incredible experience of my life, for sure. it's just something that you can't really describe. Like, ultimately, God's getting the glory for in every area of our story. Not a lot of people get why you would just take in another child into your home. Why would you do that? But he calls us to do that. I mean, that's a pretty clear thing that he says, is take care of orphans and widows. And I'm like, well, I don't really think how you can get more clear about that than that commandment. I'm Brittany, and through adoption, I found joy in my story.